Port Charles is about to face a double shockwave. In a city where secrets fester and betrayals linger like ghosts in the shadows, the return of two Corinthos brothers, Michael and Morgan, will change everything. This is no happy reunion. It's a collision course with vengeance, revelation, and poison that leaves lives shattered and loyalties ripped apart. For weeks, there's been a hush sweeping across Port Charles. Jason Morgan has sensed it. Carly Corinthos has felt it in her bones. Sonny Corinthos has ignored it, too obsessed with protecting Christina and rebuilding trust with Donna and Avery. But as the sun sets behind the skyline, a dark plan reaches its tipping point. Jason's contacts whisper a cryptic warning. They're already here. The brothers walk among you. It begins in silence. A silent figure unlocks a warehouse on Pier 47, abandoned since the Cassadine shipping scandal. Morgan Corinthos steps out of the shadows. The boy presumed dead is very much alive, leaner, colder, and no longer burdened by the chaos of mental illness. He's been working with specialists in Argentina and Croatia, brought back to stability by underground forces who owe Julian Jerome favors. He returns not to embrace family, but to watch it burn. Behind him steps Michael Corinthos, not the man Port Charles knew. This Michael is fierce, disillusioned, and razor-focused. He vanished months ago, escaping the burden of the Quartermain boardroom and the backroom corruption Sonny kept feeding. And now he's back, with secrets in his pocket and something deadlier than revenge in his heart. They don't walk into Kelly's. They don't alert Carly. They don't call Willow or Drew. They come to Port Charles to wage quiet war, and one of them has already picked a victim. At Metro Court, Carly prepares for a fundraiser, an event that will benefit widows of first responders. The who's who of Port Charles are invited. Nina, under scrutiny but tolerated. Elizabeth Weber, Mayor Laura Collins, Diane Miller, even Brooke Lynn and Chase. Everyone's smiling for cameras, but no one sees the real danger. Behind the scenes, Morgan Corinthos poses as a new caterer. With forged documents, a stolen ID, and a quiet bribe to an overworked sous chef, he navigates the kitchen. But what he holds in his hand is more than a dessert topping. It's a slow-acting neurotoxin developed from the remnants of a WSB research facility in Bangkok. Tasteless, colorless, devastating. Morgan doesn't intend to kill, yet. Just to send a message. He pours a few drops into one carafe of Metro Court's signature cocktail, the Crimson Cherry Sparkle. Later that evening, the poison drink is offered to one of four unsuspecting guests, Nina, Carly, Ava, or Willow. The glass ends up in the hands of Willow Tate. Elsewhere, Michael confronts Ned Quartermain. Their meeting is anything but cordial. Ned demands to know why Michael disappeared after the company merger and left Yelq exposed to Valentine. Michael's answer stuns him. I left because Yelq is laundering money through shell companies in Dubai, and you let it happen. Ned reels. That's impossible. We had accountants. Michael slams a folder down. You had plants. Sonny bought them. So did Valentine. You turned a blind eye, and you sold out this family for a seat at a corrupt table. But the real truth isn't just about business. It's about blood. Michael drops the bombshell. Morgan isn't just my brother. He's not your grandson. He's not Sonny's biological son either. He's Julian Jerome's. Ned is floored. That's not possible. But Michael produces genetic proof, a document smuggled from GH's archives, matched by Morgan's own tests from Argentina. The revelation sends Ned reeling. The family thought Julian was buried with his sins. But the ghost of Julian Jerome is walking again, inside the veins of Morgan Corinthos. Back at the fundraiser, Willow begins to feel strange. Her vision blurs. Her speech slurs. Carly catches her as she collapses, thinking it's stress or low blood sugar. But Jason, ever alert, takes one look and knows it's not normal. He demands they get Willow to GH immediately. Elizabeth and Finn rush to stabilize her. The symptoms don't make sense. Blood pressure is erratic, her heart rate spikes and dips. Her eyes show signs of seizure activity, but no head trauma is present. Hours later, the lab reveals what no one expected. Willow has been poisoned. Carly is beside herself with panic. Nina is initially blamed. Security footage shows her near the punch bowl earlier. But Jason isn't so sure. He checks backdoor deliveries, traces one food vendor's background, and quickly discovers the forged ID. It leads him to a name he thought buried: Morgan Corinthos. Carly breaks down. She visits Morgan's old grave. She screams into the wind, "What are you doing to us?" She doesn't believe it at first, can't, until she sees the surveillance photo Jason recovers. Morgan, walking out of Metro Court's back alley, eyes steeled with something deadly. She collapses to her knees. But the confrontation is coming, and it will not be kind. Michael watches his mother grieve with a coldness he never had before. He remembers every lie she told to keep Sonny's crimes buried. Every time she put Sonny before the truth. He knows what must happen next. Jason arranges a silent meeting on the rooftop of General Hospital. Morgan and Michael arrive first, unarmed, but unrelenting. Jason doesn't bother drawing a weapon. He simply stares at the brothers he once considered sons. "You poisoned Willow," he demands. Morgan shrugs. "Not to kill. Just to wake people up. You all forgot what he did to me. What this town did." Michael steps in. "We're not here for your approval, Jason. We're here to correct the narrative. And if someone dies because of the lie you've all been keeping, so be it." Jason narrows his eyes. "What lie?" Michael turns the knife. "Sonny had Julian killed to keep Morgan's paternity buried. You helped him clean it up, but it didn't stick." Jason's world shatters quietly. The WSB mission, the cleaned-up alley, the disposal of Julian's final message to Alexis. He realizes they're not lying. By morning, the news has leaked. Olivia finds out Morgan isn't Sonny's child. She tells Dante, who confronts Sonny. "Why didn't you tell us? Why hide it?" Sonny breaks. "Because I raised him. I didn't care whose blood he had." But that excuse no longer holds water in a city drowning in betrayal. Ava visits Willow in the ICU and makes a surprising confession. She saw Morgan the night before, outside the Jerome Gallery. He didn't threaten her. He asked about Avery. "He's watching us all," she tells Carly. "And I don't think he's finished." Meanwhile, Alexis finds an anonymous package at the Invader. Julian's final video, recorded before his death. In it, he admits he fathered Morgan, and that he planned to reclaim his son before Sonny took care of things. Alexis weeps. She rushes to GH, desperate to tell Morgan if he's still in town. She wants to know the truth. Willow stabilizes barely. The poison leaves long-term neurological impact. She may never regain full motor control. The woman who once taught kindergartners may never write her name properly again. Michael breaks down beside her hospital bed. He holds her hand and whispers, "I didn't mean for this. I only wanted justice." But it's too late. Carly, facing her broken son and poisoned daughter-in-law, makes a choice. She leaves Port Charles. No goodbye. No note. Just a quiet flight out of town. Some say she went to Belize. Others say she's working with Brick to uncover Brennan's old network. But everyone knows the truth. Carly Corinthos ran from the reckoning. She couldn't stop. Morgan isn't done. He approaches Ava and makes a request. "I want to see Avery. One time. No Sonny. No drama. Just me and her." Ava hesitates. But when she looks into Morgan's eyes, she doesn't see madness. She sees pain. She agrees. That night, under the cover of moonlight, Morgan meets his little sister in the Coeur d'Alene garden. He holds her hand. She laughs and shows him a picture she drew. A lone tear falls down Morgan's face. He whispers to himself, "That's all I ever wanted." Then he disappears into the dark. The truth has left permanent scars. Willow will never be the same. Michael is disowned by half the Coeur Jason is questioned by the FBI about cover-ups tied to Julian's death. Sonny? He loses the one thing he always relied on: loyalty. Dante takes a leave of absence from the PCPD. Christina refuses to speak to him. Donna and Avery start to ask questions Sonny can't answer. And Carly? Gone, but not forgotten. Rumors spread that she's seeking Morgan to beg forgiveness or bring him back to face justice. Port Charles is a city of ghosts, but it's also a city of survivors. Willow starts experimental treatment under Finn and Liz's care. Michael opens a new foundation, the Morgan Jerome Project, dedicated to mental health justice and transparency. Morgan? Last seen crossing the Canadian border. Destination unknown. But he leaves behind a letter. You raised me in a house of lies. I chose to burn it down so something honest could grow in its place. The Corinthos Empire may never recover, but for the first time the cracks let in a little light. And in that light stands the most dangerous Corinthos of all, the one who returned from the dead, bearing truth and poison in equal measure.